Hey, good evening, everyone. If you notice, I'm here by myself. That's why I moved myself to be down by the Christmas tree because I knew I was going to be a little bit lonely tonight here talking to myself. Um, Ebony is dealing with some family things, and Tom is out having some holiday fun tonight. So they left me in charge, which is probably, possibly a little foolish. I don't know. So tonight we're going to watch episode 2, Strangers and Friends, which I have not seen since we did our last rewatch. So I actually had to look it up and kind of give myself a little refresher on what we're doing. I have 2 fabulous guests tonight, which I'll bring on in just a minute. I just wanted to, oh, hey, Arissa. I just wanted to remind everyone, next Monday night is Christmas, and so we're going to take the night off so everybody can celebrate or not celebrate as they want to. And we will be back on the 1st with episode 3, which is, I had this, What Might Be, I think. So there's not really much else going on in my world at the moment. I'm ready for those of you, I think most of you know, or some of you know, I am a teacher in real life. And so I am counting down the minutes until we get to break. So I'm very excited. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on, I have 2 guests tonight. I have Josh from Black Tower Podcast, and then some of you guys may know London River, who I just got the pleasure of meeting a few minutes ago. So without further ado.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Hey.
Hey.
Just making a little drink.
Just a little drinky poo. Just time for a little num num, little sippy sip.
What are you drinking?
Cheers.
I have Sailor Jerry and Coke Vanilla.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds like a nice combination.
Because I'm bougie tonight. Treating myself.
That's bougie now, huh?
For me, it is.
All right. Is it the vanilla that makes it bougie? Or
That's what it is. Yes.
Okay.
Stepping it up a notch. Well, how's everybody doing? What's been going on? No, yes, Gnome, it's that fancy, the fancy Coke.
That's the one.
Well, what's new with you, Josh? What's been going on? I think it's been a minute.
It has. It's been a minute. Just doing work stuff, having fun. It's fun to go to work right now because everybody's like gone for the holidays. So I kind of sit there and be like, I guess I'll go over some spreadsheets to check my inventory to make sure everything is good. And we have a friend. I have a friend who is the asset manager who I work with, and she came in today, and we actually moved around a bunch of computers, and I'm pretty sure it was just shuffling computers around, but it's fun.
That's fun. I wish I could send everybody away. Oh no. Oh, she's back. Woo! Scary. I wish I could send everybody away from my work sometimes. That'd be nice. Well, London, so I was saying that I just got a chance to meet you. Something I don't know is how you even got into the Wheel of Time. Tom mentioned it a little bit last week, but why don't you tell us just kind of how you...
I was in middle school, and I grabbed a book at the airport, which was The Eye of the World, because, kids are horrible on airplanes. So my mom was like, get a book. And that was the book I picked up. And then I just blasted through it and continued.
That's awesome. I was not a fantasy person. I was very anti-fantasy in middle school and especially early high school. And then we had this wicked ice storm in the Midwest, which you probably... you're familiar with those. And we were locked up for days. Oh gosh, sorry, Rosa. And my friend had nothing but fantasy novels. And he's like, wait a minute, read this one, and handed me The Eye of the World. And I was like, absolutely not. But about 24 hours into the ice storm, I was like, all right, fuck it. Here we go. And I read through the first 3 books during that ice storm. I've been hooked ever since.
Nice.
Absolutely hooked. Oh no. Sorry, Arosa. We are so happy to send them home to you, though. They are wound. It's awful. Some genius decided it'd be a really good idea today at 8:45 in the morning to have kindergartners, which are about 5, for those of you that don't have tiny humans, to build gingerbread houses at 8:45 in the morning where they could eat candy and frosting, and then expected them to navigate through the rest of their school day. It was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare.
Wow.
Oh, thanks, Brother Dan. I was strictly like, I only read John Irving and occasionally Stephen King. Like, I was such a snob. I feel terrible about it now. I swear. I'm not that mean.
I feel like that's acceptable in the book community, though. You can be like, it's not my thing.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. That's not true. I feel like it's acceptable to be snobby. I don't think it's snobby to like what you like, is it?
Maybe not. Oh gosh. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna be real honest here.
Point.
I'm supposed to be starting our watch party from Twitch, and I couldn't get into Twitch on my computer, so we're gonna stall for a minute so I can figure out how to do this from my phone. Sorry. This is why. Swear to God, this is why Tom shouldn't leave me in charge.
Your cocktail's not strong enough. That's the problem.
It was gin. Sorry. I'll do better next time. I don't normally drink on Monday nights, you guys, but I was nervous. I was nervous about this techie part that is now not working for me. All right. I'm going to give it just a second. If not, we'll just all start it.
I know on my...
What? Sorry.
I think she said, well, I'll just start it like individually. We'll all just go.
Give me a minute.
I know for me, for like recommending books, like I've read several books that I was like not in love with. But I tried to like be nice to the people and be like, oh yeah, I always try to find something good about the book. Even if I don't like it, I always try to be like, whoa, there was this piece of it that was like so good. So that they don't feel bad about recommending me a book that I didn't like.
I have a hard time. If I don't like it, I don't finish it. I can usually give it about, I don't know, 20 chapters, and then I'm just done. If I can't figure it out, if I don't like it by then, I'm out. No. All right, well, I'm just going to disappoint Tom. All right, I'm sorry, guys. He's going to be so sad. We're just going to...
Is it something I can help you with?
I just don't know how to start the live stream from my phone. I know how to do it from the Twitch on my computer, but not from my phone.
Yeah, the phone's a little weird.
It's weird on an Apple in general. It's hard to do on my Mac, but it's real funky on my phone. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull up Prime and get episode 2, Strangers and Friends, pulled up, and I'll give you guys like 60 seconds to get that pulled up. You know, it's really interesting. I've been on a mission. So living in the middle of Kansas, there is the middle of the country in Kansas City. There's not a lot of I don't feel like there's a huge fantasy community here. And so I've never had a lot of people to share this with. And so I have given away or loaned at least 7 copies of The Eye of the World so far this year. And I actually just gave away another one today to one of the subs that was in my building, just hoping to bring a few more people in that I can talk to in person.
You know, every time we have, there you go. Every time we have conversations about handing out books, handing out The Eye of the World, giving it to someone as a gift or something like that, I get these flashbacks to youth group as a kid and being just give someone a Bible.
No, No, it's more than the Bible. It's like 14 Bibles.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a lot.
It is though.
I mean, I have fans that like want to connect with me, which is really sweet. But then they know that I'm into this because this is like I talk about this on Twitter and I talk about my job, which whatever, and then I talk about dogs or whatever. But like, there's a lot of Wheel of Time, and so then people are like, I picked up the first book and I'm gonna start reading it, and I'm just like, okay, cool. So come back to me in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Right?
And we'll be able to have a conversation.
Good job. You just started. Well done. Okay.
Talk
Yeah,
to me
oh.
when you finish.
Yeah, especially when they're like reading it. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of suggest the audiobook if you want to get caught up quick so that you can, clean at the same time or whatever. But
I keep talking about doing the audiobooks. That's one thing I've never jumped into is the audiobooks. It's probably because I like my pronunciations. Like the show's been really hard for me because the way I said things in my head for the past 20 years are not how they're being said on TV. So
that makes sense.
That's such a big thing though, because
yeah.
anytime there are two or more gathered for the Wheel of Time, it's like, wait a minute, who are you talking about? Nineveh. Who? Nineveh, Nineveh. She's got the braid she's always tugging. Oh, Nineveh. Come on, man. Get it right. It's like, and it didn't help that Robert Jordan was like, Egwene, and it was just like, dude, come on.
Well, yeah, didn't he
actual pronunciations, but he went back and forth on some pronunciations.
Well, and didn't he say something to the effect of too, like everybody has a different accent, so however you say it is,
Yep.
can be correct.
Somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the most egregious one. Oh. There was something in the show that just jarred me, and now I can't remember what it was. It was in season 1 that I was like, what are they talking about? I don't know. All right,
there's
so
a couple where I've been like, ooh, that's not, but like, whatever. I get over it.
I would do this.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
I think I'm gonna. So I've never been to one of the cons, you guys. As a teacher, it's like right in the middle of like the slog of the school year, and I haven't done it. But I talked to my very best friend, and I think we're gonna try to do Jordan Con this year because I've heard that's a good way to ease into it. I've done other conventions, but I've never done a Wheel of Time one, so I think that's my goal for 2024.
Yes.
Well, BotCon happens during the summer break.
That's true.
Yes. So my family owns a travel agency. That's what my parents do for a long time, and so I am usually gone doing some stuff for them for part of the summer. But I want to get on it. I feel like I was there. I was gonna do it, and then the world shut down with COVID, and I decided to have a tiny human during the pandemic. So,
I mean,
there's nothing else to do. You guys, we're home for a long time. All right, so I have got it queued up. We're on
stuff.
Drinking stuff. Yeah, Netflix and chill. We're on. Amazon Prime and chill, right? That's what we're promoting. Season 2, episode 2, which is Strangers and Friends. So I'm sorry, Tom. I will apologize later that I couldn't get the stream going, and he will teach me how to do it before next Monday on my phone. But I hope he's having fun tonight. I think he's doing something maybe at Disney with family tonight. I know he goes to Disney all the time. But I'm going to hit play, and then I will give you guys the shout out on the time. So I will hit play, and we're not skipping any recaps. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm at 10 seconds right now. I'll give it a few more. I will say I think my most watched scene is the Dark Friends social, just trying to decode all that. Like just watching that whole thing.
There was
over
a lot there.
Yeah.
There was a lot there. Do you
Oh,
like
man.
intense?
Is this the
I
episode?
will say. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was thinking out loud. I think, oh man, I might be really upset here later in this episode. Something happens
Yeah.
at the start of season 2 that I hate. I absolutely hate. I still have big feelings about it. If this is the episode I'm thinking of.
I really hope it is now that you say that, because I love to watch people have their feelings.
Oh, the intro just then is one of the leading pieces of evidence that people are using to say that Layla is a dark friend.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Because we all know that she had her axe up, right? And then Perrin turns around and gets her. But, like, it's Moraine's wording. And she stops, like, I can't remember what she says now, but she, like, stops and then, like, there's Layla. And it's like, why would you do it like that? Why would you say it like that?
I mean, I don't disbelieve that. I just don't have reasons behind it other than the axe above the head.
Yeah, that was the thing. That was like another nail in the coffin, so to speak. Critter did a pretty good breakdown on her TikTok.
Okay. I will say I really liked how they brought in Celine to the show. The only thing that was kind of funny for me is, like, in the books, the people from the Two Rivers were just, they were very Puritan. And so it was strange to me that Rand would be, sleeping with her when he's still, I don't know if it was, in my mind, I guess was thinking that he did it it was like a cutting of ties with everything from home.
I like this version better. I don't know why. It's just like the puritanical Two Rivers kids, like going out and I mean, because we already knew that, like, this Rand was sexually active, right? Because he was with Egwene and stuff. So
yeah. Well, we did get. Go ahead. Sorry.
I like them being a little bit less naive, just because it'll make, like, the show has to move at a faster clip than the books, and I think it'll make it more believable. But
yeah, and they're still more innocent, I would say, than the rest of the world. So I think it works.
I think this is one of the things the show did really, really well. Rafe gave an interview where he was talking about they made a conscious choice to age the characters up, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to show them having adult relationships. And this is one of the things that I really thought the show did really, really well, is they did a really good balance of making them adults, but still very naive adults.
Mm-hmm. Sheltered adults. Oh, so this was one. In my mind, every time I read the books, it was Kareen, not Kyrian. It was not until I watched the show. I know there's another big one that was shocking.
I always said Kareen.
Kareen, okay. And I would flip to the back of my books and try to read but it was however I read it the first time in my mind was how it kind of stuck. All right, we just finished the intro. We're at 4:27, 28, 29, 30.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Lan's all tired and Moraine's all tired from getting healed.
Well, and they just look physically uncomfortable. They're like, oh.
I love Moraine right there. Like, oh, thanks.
Great. Glad you're coming. When they cut that scene from the books where like Rand is going through the forest with Tam and then that healing happens, I think they did a good job in season 2 of kind of telling people who didn't read the books that like part of being healed comes from the person. I say my mom, after years of me begging her to read these, finally picked up the books after the show started, and she had a lot of questions about the episode two, about just like
Catch up.
one power and healing. Tell me when you're there, Gnome, and I'll give you another time count. And she understood a lot more after they got into season 2, and we just saw them do more healing with the one power.
Yeah. My brother, whom we joke about being the poison checker Mahale, he has not read the books, but he watched the show and really, really enjoyed it. And he asked those questions. He was like, wait, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, well, in the books, this is what happens. And if I filled in a little bit for him, he was good.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, like I'm sorry.
No, it's just responding to Gnome. Sorry, Gnome. We are at 6:45, 46, 47. Go ahead, London. Sorry.
Oh no. Yeah, with the show is so different from the books, which I actually like just because I've read the books so many times. I might as well see something new. But watching with my mom is so funny because she's like, is Rand working at a mental institution or something? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, why is he there? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, haven't you read the books? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Like, just wait and see. We'll all find out together, literally.
Yeah. Yep.
No, that is what is so fun about it, is you get to have like new experiences. Although I don't like Perrin with his sword. That is what that little I just don't like it.
I think Perrin is just finding himself. Like, he gets to carry a sword for a while until he realizes that he looks silly with it, and then he can put it down for the proper weapon.
Hopefully I don't know. Yeah, it feels like such a small, easy thing to be like, here's your battle axe, Perrin.
Maybe a battle axe is just harder to kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's just harder to deal with than like a movie.
From like an actual actor perspective, like.
Yeah, because a battle axe is a large weapon, right?
Yeah.
Or heavy. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a pain.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Perrin with a sword is silly.
It just looks strange. But maybe they're going to use him finding his axe as a big moment in the show.
I was actually just going to say that could also be played up. Like, we could be meant to think he looks silly with a sword. Because, as Lennon was saying, he hasn't found himself really. He's just kind of... And so he's going to look silly and awkward until he sort of comes into his own on that.
Mm-hmm.
That could be. That would be some pretty impressive, like, visual storytelling.
Because he does kind of look silly and awkward and out of place. And he's kind of uncertain about, I think, how he feels about, taking on this more violent... Yeah, because I don't know. I think he's figuring himself out, because he is in the books too. Perrin takes a long time to figure out who he is.
Like literally all 14 books.
Yeah, all of them. You get to like through the last battle, and you're like, Perrin's finally kind of figured out sort of a little bit of what he might want in the world. Cool.
And scene.
Uno! Shout out.
Yes.
For those of you guys who don't know Uno.
Go ahead. Do it. No, go ahead. Do it.
I was just going to say Guy Roberts is going to be at WatCon, so everybody needs to go to WatCon to hang out with Guy Roberts. Because that's going to be awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love him so much. Arosa, I'm glad you say this, because I felt that too, that even though they're vastly different, they do feel like the same characters. Sometimes they feel a little better in the show than they did in the books. Like, I was not a Nynaeve fan when I read the books, and I Love her so much. So much. Like, it took me several read-throughs before I would like skim over some of her stuff as I was rereading the books because she annoyed me. So.
Yeah. See, yeah, right here. This is where my mom's like, "What's happening?" And I'm like, he's bringing that old man some linens.
Putting a robe on him.
I think the other thing is people don't get in the show. You don't get the connection that he's Aiel descendant. Like it's there, but it's more of a nugget. You have to want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this early on, the books aren't explicit about that either.
That's true. Not until book 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's alluded to, but
yeah. I mean, they hint at it, but in the same way where you're like, I think he's Aiel. Like maybe he's, but like they don't. It's not, really revealed.
I was definitely confused by this the first time I saw it. I was a little curious why he was working in a mental hospital too.
At first, I was just like, maybe he just needed a job.
Hey, it's expensive to live in the Westlands. Like, come on now. Yes, Noman Garden. Hard agree.
Yeah.
There's some real tender moments.
And I like that we finally got to hear about some of the sword forms that had been completely lacking from the show. I've said it before. I want to see some of the training scenes where Lan gets to train the Two Rivers boys or something adjacent to that.
That's one of my critiques, I guess I would say, of the show, is they made a very big deal about there's a blade master on set who's working with the actors to teach them sword, and we're adapting sword forms, and the sword forms only get sort of the barest of nods. We get them listed out a couple times, and I only think we only get one that's actually demonstrated, and it's Heron dips the wing, and it's just Rand getting ready to unsheath this, and it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Where's this sword master? What is he doing? Is he like drinking on the job or something?
Or like a lot of those scenes are getting cut for some reason or another because they want to focus more on like the story.
Yeah, that could be too.
It's hard. I don't understand the time limit that Amazon has set on it. It's frustrating.
But that's every show now. Like they have these where everything is 6 to 8
right?
episodes.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's terrible.
It's like they think we have short attention spans.
Maybe. I think the 8-episode format is strangling TV. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and just like I get when you're on network television, you have commercials and you have a time limit. There's nothing, why can't some of these episodes be 80 minutes long and some of them be, they don't all have to be within an hour.
Yeah.
I will say the inside of the White Tower is pretty much exactly how I thought it would be.
Yep.
Like the kitchen and everything.
Yeah.
No, it's gorgeous. I love the architecture. I would say, like, Tarvalon in general probably looks the most like what I pictured in my head. Like, Faldara didn't look how I'd pictured it. It was gorgeous, and I loved it in the show, but that was not what I had in my head. This was really close to what I had always envisioned. And I'm glad we got to see Breakbone Fever here.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had to giggle at the wall because they had a medieval historian expert like break down the wall, and he was like, "This is a very bad wall."
That's fun. Well, I love it. I think it's a great wall.
Well, and you know what? It's not medieval times, so
That's also true. That's also true.
like this is you can't really go too hard on any of like the architecture or wardrobe and compare it to any time that like
Sure.
exists in our history because it's not. It's
No. Yeah. No, you've got a really great point there. That is like sort of I guess that's the ultimate caveat when it comes to the Wheel of Time.
yeah, it's not really technically a medieval fantasy series.
Well, what was
what?
didn't Robert Jordan say at one point in time, if you want the most accurate comparison, you would have to think about the Renaissance without gunpowder, but at the same time, there is no one-for-one comparison. There is nothing that is just transferred over perfectly.
No, because even like the costuming from different places, it's like actually kind of different time periods and places. Like it's just what the inspiration. It's just not. It's like I think it's kind of its own thing.
Agreed.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the change to the costumes, to the accepteds, instead of the bands of color, the like flames they did on the sleeves? Touche.
Okay. Listen here, smarty pants. I actually like the accepted robes. I think they actually look really cool.
Okay.
It's something to say, oh yes, this is a dress with a rainbow at the bottom of it. But visually, reading that in the book, we just go, okay, there's dress and there's dress plus one. Like we have the ability to just kind of read that and move on. In a TV show, I think you need a little bit something to see, something to interact with visually. And I think they did a great job with that. Oh, you know what? I never noticed she was buying the sweet cakes right there with Nynaeve.
Yep.
Oh, Leandrin, you nasty.
She's just, I feel like she's emotional. What I get, yeah. I love her so much.
Oh my God, yeah, so much.
What the show did with her was just amazing. Because in the books, she's just kind of a dick. Like, you're like, she's a dick. You meet her, you're like, I don't fucking like her. And then they're like, yeah, you don't like her. And here, I'm like, even when we find out exactly who she is, like in the show, I'm like, I love you. I love you.
Yep.
And like, I want to make her better.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another thing the show did extremely well is they did provide adequate reasons for why people went to the shadow. Mm-hmm. Like in the book, we just go, oh, that's a bad guy. Cool, bad guy. We don't care why. But in the show, they did a really great job of like giving us reasons.
Yeah, well, the only character in the books that had a reason that kind of made sense at all was Ishamael, right?
The ultimate nihilist.
And in the show, it's like, no, everyone that goes to the shadow is like, there's something deep going on, and it's not. In the books, they're like, they're selfish. Like that's like Varen's like being they're all selfish. Like that's silly. Like you don't risk your entire soul because you're just feeling a little bit selfish. Like.
It's like that meme. I don't want to feel good. I want to feel evil.
Monster.
And I love how they introduced Elaine here. She's got all of her making her novice room look gorgeous.
So perfect.
Mm-hmm. She is absolutely gorgeous, number one.
Yes.
She plays this part so well.
Yeah.
But more likably, she's another one that I always kind of like, in the books, I'm just kind of like, slightly annoyed with her 100% of the time. But in the show, like, I like her. I like this version. And I think it's the same. I just don't have to hear her stupid inner monologue on the show. So it makes me like it.
Yeah.
I love that. Did you move in?
I think she's got a real good sort of like self-reflectiveness, that book Elaine had. I don't know. I like it. I think they did a great job with this. Oh,
Well,
because I'm...
What?
Oh, I was just going with the show. Sorry.
Oh.
Egwene, quaint.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love that Egwene isn't sure if she likes her right away.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you can see them kind of weighing each other. They're, feeling each other out, which I think is pretty accurate to a lot of female friendships. You first meet another woman and you're like, are you cool? Are you crazy?
Are you going to be mean to me for no reason?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, not right now anyway. Or not later anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
what's in this?
But Egwene's face when she said like, "You're my subject," is pretty priceless.
Yeah, right. She's just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay."
True. Being technical, yes, very true. Very true. I like the fact that Elena is just like, nope, my warders are here. Like, we're doing this. We're going to talk in front of, like, her relationship to them. I really enjoy in the show. I mean, in the books, but in the show too.
And it's funny that, and I was talking with a friend the other day about this. Alana and Leandrin are my two favorite TV show characters. Like, I love those two. They are. If I had to rank characters 1 through 10, Alana and Leandrin would be in the top 1 and 2 spots.
Wow.
Which is hilarious because in the books, that is completely opposite.
Yeah. I like. So Nynaeve, I said I absolutely hated. She was bottom of the list of all of the Two Rivers people for me. Lan was really far down on my list too in the books, and I really like Daniel Henney's portrayal, number 1, and I don't know, he's just he's not as cold as he was in the books, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like that, I like him a whole lot more.
I like this more well-rounded Lan. That
yeah. He seems mature, not just bitter and hyper focused on one thing.
Yeah. This like emotionally balanced Lan versus toxic masculinity Lan. I like
there you go.
I agree with what Noman Garden just said too, is that book Lan would be very boring on screen, and that's very true.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much, and this is why Perrin's character underwent so much change, is because there's only so much that you can see on screen before you're like, we get it, you're broody, cool.
I would 100% not be walking down that tunnel in the White Tower. Like, it's not who I am. I've seen too many horror movies. I don't go down the dark, scary tunnel by myself.
But are you the most powerful channeler we've
No.
seen in
No, not at all.
centuries, 3 millennia?
No. No. Yay!
I will say that Loyal, like the Ogier setup, was quite jarring to me at first. But Hamad has played him so well, it's grown on me. I love it.
It is definitely, yeah. I mean, it's definitely not what I pictured or what I expected, but I love him so much. Like, even at first, I didn't think he was, or what was described. He has no ears. Maybe I still
no
think
ears,
that's
no
gonna
eyebrows.
Happen. Yeah. And I get from like a practical standpoint, some of that would have to be really difficult. But I think it's Tom that said it. I think maybe when we finally get a little bit deeper into the seasons and we see a steading, maybe we'll see that he just has a funky hairstyle that hides his gorgeous ears, and we'll actually get to see some. You know,
Do you
he's
think
just
his
got that
ears will
nice.
twitch when he meets Aerith?
They have to.
Sexy, your ear action.
Did you see her ears, Rand?
Which is wild because they treat ears like they're kind of dirty, and I'm like, wow, you
Yeah.
just wear them on the outside of your head like that?
Right.
Oh, is this where we get
Oh,
the
this is a
story
good
of
scene.
how they? Yeah, I like this a lot. I'm happy they tell the story of how the two of them are bonded. I think Varen was another perfect casting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Mm. Ooh, she is bold.
God, I love Varen. Varen is perfect.
Mm-hmm. That's close enough. Well, and just knowing kind of where her story goes, I'm super excited.
Mm-hmm.
I always have to be careful. I have to get better. So I'm trying to do my umpteenth reread because it all runs together for me. Because I went back. So I think when I started, I'm trying to think when that ice storm was. I think books 1 through 5 were out, but every time another book came out, like I was going back and rereading. Yeah. And so the first half is all just one big long story to me. And so I always have to kind of flip through and be like, all right, what happens at the end? Like, what's the major thing? So I don't spoil it for people. I had a coworker a couple of years ago, it was actually during COVID, that blasted through the entire series, including New Spring, in like 2 months. I mean, it was really short. And so she would want to talk about it. And I would always have to like have my book out in front of me. Like, okay, I don't want to spoil this for you. Well, it's probably the most impressive reader I've ever converted. I think COVID helped a lot with that.
Yeah, I have a coworker that was working on them a while back, and she would like ask me questions just to clarify things, and I would have to do the same thing. I'm like, is that something you're gonna find out, or is that something that like you've been told and you forgot?
I like to just give the standard Raffo.
Yeah, except what if you have read and you just like forgot or didn't understand something? And I've read the series a stupid amount of times, so I've probably figured it out. Then you should ask me the question.
Well, and I like to be, culturally sensitive as well, and to the Wheel of Time culture, community culture. Raffo, this is the way. You got to Raffo. Got to hit him with the old Raffo.
So what are we supposed to do? Be like, oh, okay. Well, if you've read Pat, you'll figure it out when you reread it.
That's what you got to. No, you got to say. You just got to say Raffo, and they say, "What's that?" Read and find out.
Yep.
And you get to be all snooty about it. It's fun.
I almost wore that shirt tonight. I have that shirt. I almost wore it. I like the way I feel like Rand in the show has progressed much faster than he did in the books, and he's had to. Oh. He's got a little bit more rage in him than book Rand.
A wee bit.
Mm.
Ugh. I left for some of the violence and to get a walk.
It's good.
There's something about people being beat to death that I can't handle. I'm like, oh, I can handle almost any kind of violence, but it's a bit rough for me.
It's still the animal violence for me. The people I'm just like, he probably deserved it somewhere. But it's anytime there's an animal that even gets remotely hurt, like if a horse stumbles, I'm like, it's hard for me. My husband's a big fan of the John Wick movies, and he had to swear to me. I made him watch 2, 3, and 4 first, so I would know if there was going to be another animal death happening before I would continue to watch the movies, because that hurt my feelings. That was hard for me.
I have a friend, well, a couple. They're both my friends, and they refuse to watch movies in which animals are used as plot mechanisms. They do not. Nope.
Huh.
I like Egwene feeling superior, showing her around and she's like, oh.
Yeah, I like the kind of the jealousy that I like that Egwene has to struggle with that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was in season 1 even, and so it's I think it's a nice to add that character flaw to her, because I don't feel like it was in the book too much, that kind of.
Mm-mm.
I like Egwene kind of being like, oh shit, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think Egwene sees some of that defiance that she knows in herself, and she's kind of like, "You're my people."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's when she decides about her, like, okay, we could be friends. I think we're gonna be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
Wah wah.
Haha. No fancy cushions for you.
I do have to say, I feel like. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but now you can make your bomb toilet wine. Sorry, it was a bad joke.
Gross.
Or bathtub brew, whatever it was.
Hashtag toilet wine. Hashtag toilet wine. Wow. No, I was gonna say Tarvalon is the only. I'm gonna start that. I'm gonna get that trending. It's the only place that feels big to me in the show. Like the only location that they've been that feels appropriately grandiose. Like everything in the books, like Kyrian and all these places were described and just felt like so large in the books, and this is the only location that feels that way to me in the show so far. I'm sure that's partially budget and you know.
We haven't really gotten to see much of Carrie. We've only we've seen like the indoors
True.
a lot, and then we've seen like the outer the foregate, but like we haven't gotten to explore the city that much, which is sort of a bummer.
That's true. Oh shoot. Busted.
She's just trying to help. The rage that Kate Fleetwood can emote with just like a look on her face is just fucking phenomenal.
But, I mean, pain and rage. It's just so she's amazing. She's amazing. Give her all the awards, all of them.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
God. She's so good. Well, and I love the ego that plays here too. Because Nynaeve basically says, you're not helping him. You're just making him quiet while he's in pain. And that's a real blow to her ego. And just this whole scene is just gorgeous.
Well, it's also just like that guilt that
Yeah.
Right.
Because, she thought she was doing the best thing for him. She thought she was helping. This has still felt strange to me. Like, I wanted more Matt and I needed more Min because I love those two characters. But this, I wasn't sure where they were going with this whole setup here.
I do love this, though. This is a pretty fun reveal.
Ooh.
And another cell. I love that they even have the same kind of humor.
Yeah.
Because Min says, "Is it a sex thing then?" And Matt is always making sex jokes, and I love it.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see, like, because one thing I think the book doesn't always do well is to give us like male and female friendships.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice to see if the show gives us, like, I feel like these two could be like pals, right?
Yeah, no, I like that. I think like, hey, Sparkle Spreen. Nynaeve maybe has the most friendships, but even then it's more motherly than it is truly being like friends with each other. When did you guys read New Spring? Did you read it in just order? Like when it came out?
No. I read it.
I didn't.
Yeah, I read it like after. I didn't read New Spring until like a few years ago, I think.
I forget, when did it actually come out? Like between what?
It came out between. Did it come out? I think it came out right after. Did it come out right after Crossroads? Did it come out right after Crossroads? I'm guessing.
When it was published.
I know
to be
it was
honest,
in.
I'm not sure.
Come on,
My
no.
thing. Come on.
Somebody needs to get on that. Somebody in the chat needs to Google now.
Right.
Because I think I read it after Crossroads of Twilight, which I always get hate for. That is one of my favorite books in the whole series. Even
Me
though
too!
nothing happened.
Oh wait, no, not Crossroads. Winter's Heart.
I know
like
everybody was
Crossroads.
Winter's Heart. I
I
don't
hate
buy
Crossroads.
into the slog.
For me, Winter's Heart is more dull. Like Winter's Heart is boring until the end, I guess. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so it was. I guess I did. I lied. I guess I did read it in order because I read it after Crossroads of Twilight. I just thought it was published earlier than that.
I read it after my very first read through. Like I had already read through everything, and I was like, "This is so cool! Oh my god!" Well, now what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And I was talking to someone about it. I can't remember who, and they were like, "Oh yeah, well, they say this in New Spring," and I went, "In what?" And they were like, "A new spring? What? A new what?" And they had to like tell me what it was, and I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch, gotta go read it." Okay.
Ooh, all right. What Aja would you guys be?
brown.
Good one.
Gosh.
I don't know if it's a good one. I'm just a nerd and I remember a lot of facts.
You
Same.
do. I am continually impressed with your Wheel of Time knowledge.
I store a lot of shit up here. I'm not necessarily socially like really well equipped, but
which only adds to the actual brown Aja-ness of your personality.
That's hard. I always thought when I first read the books that I would be yellow, but I really don't like vomit. I've learned working with young children, so I'm probably not actually a yellow. Someone to get sick and be like, "I'm out. You're on your own. Can't touch you. I'm sorry." I don't know. That's hard for me because I feel like I've said a lot of different things over the years. I was always like, "Oh, I'd be a yellow. Oh no, I'd be a green." But I think I would probably, honestly, I would probably be a blue. I think. I don't know.
You get like really single-minded about like a cause and just like cling on to it, and that's like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm a special education teacher, and I've got pretty big feelings about that. So.
yeah, that makes sense. Probably. What about you, Josh?
I'm trying to think. I want to say probably be green. I do like the green Aja. They're like kind of the cool.
Yeah.
They are the cool kids. That's why I don't relate to them very well. But yeah, they're cool.
Well, let's be real. Like I'd be like, I want to be green, and the green Aja would be like,
be like, oh no, you should think
That's
of blue.
You're so cute.
Oh. We're gonna stick you. Yeah. No.
Maybe you should go and talk. See, my experience in the White Tower would be like, I love the green Aja. You guys are great. And they'd be like, okay, maybe you should go talk to like the blue Aja. And the blue Aja would be like, okay, maybe you should go talk to the yellow Aja. And the yellow Aja would be like, and it would just would not be.
You'd get
You
accepted
know-
by Brown Aja, though. They'd let you in and stick you in the library.
That's it. That's what. No, but so we have a fan theory that there will eventually be divisions of the Black Tower. They will not be Aja, they will be Gar, because Gar is the old tongue word for weapon, and we're keeping in the tradition with the dragon founding the Black Tower needing weapons. And so there will be Gar. And I will definitely be part of the booze Gar. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, toilet wine. Here we go.
There it is!
It's quite the color, too.
I love that it's just nasty, whatever that is.
Yeah. Looks a little bubbly. I don't know.
Fun fact, when it comes to moonshine and other hard liquors, the bigger the bubbles and the faster they go away, the higher the alcohol content.
Ooh. I have some friends that are from, well, acquaintances that are from like rural Mississippi, which I don't know a lot about the South. I haven't been there a lot, but when they came to Kansas City, they brought some moonshine one time, and I couldn't even drink it. Just the smell of it was, nope, could not do it. Could not do it.
So I had a buddy in, he's a very dear friend of mine. We've been friends for a very long time. And his father passed, which I realize is not a great way to start a story, but it is relevant to the story. And I flew out to New Jersey, went to the funeral, helped with the family, kind of thing. That night they were having a wake, and the guy pulled out the jar with the clear liquid and said, "This is the same recipe my family's had since the Civil War, and it's blah 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 blah." And he gave all this history about it. It was really, really cool. All of them were Navy, by the way. They were all Navy veterans and retirees, and I was the only Air Force guy there. So they poured up shots for everybody, and to the old man, drank it, and then they looked over at me and said, "How did the Air Force handle it?" And I said, "I think you guys lied. I think you guys gave me nail polish remover." Because that was...
That's what it smelled like. That was what it smelled like. Now they sell commercially some like they look like tiny little mason jars that are about this tall that they claim are moonshine, but they certainly smell and I assume taste a lot better than the real stuff.
I'm daughter heir of the most powerful nation in the world, and I know how to make toilet wine.
I actually really like Elaine's interaction there with Egwene. She just gets real.
Same.
She's real with her. She's just like, okay. Because Egwene's like, I'm not jealous. And she's like, sure you're not. You're just doing all the things.
You don't have jealousy. You just have all the symptoms of jealousy. I get it.
No, we all need friends that'll be honest with us when we're acting like...
Facts.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a potty mouth. But
you watch your damn mouth, London.
I try.
I have to be very careful when I'm at work, and it has definitely been an issue a few times. So I have a few, like, if I start to cuss things, I can turn it into when I'm at work. So, but I definitely said, what was it earlier? Oh, I said, "Oh shit," in front of a 4th grader today, and I was like, well, luckily I've heard you say worse, so we're good. We're good.
My brother said he dropped an F-bomb once in front of my much younger brother. And my much younger brother then repeated the word, and all of us went, "What did you just say?" And he went, dropped an F-bomb, and we went, "Where did you hear that?" "Well, you just said it." "No, I said frog." Oh, and so,
Okay, my 5-year-old nephew said shitbag after spending a day with me, which is not something I said. Not at all. Not at all.
Sure.
But then I, met up with my sister and brother-in-law, and then we were gonna have dinner, and these kids had spent the whole day with me, and my nephew said that somebody was being a shitbag, and I was like, oh. I didn't. I swear. And it turned out it was my brother-in-law's fault. But like, I was like, that doesn't even sound like something I would say. I never use that term. I use far worse things.
Right? Shitbag. That's like down here. I'm up here. Get on my level, kid.
I will say my 2-year-old, when he first started to talk, when he was 1, they get you all stressed out, like they're not talking yet. They're not saying. Are you counting their words? Are you keeping track of how many words they're saying?
Oh,
and
God.
in his top 20 words was the word fuck, because it was just I have several videos of him where he would repeat it, and he didn't start school till a year later. He 100% went to school and said, what did he say? Like, give me the something, the effing something. And I 1000% threw my mother-in-law under the bus and was like, that was his Nana. She says that word. Not me. Yeah. I'm a teacher. I don't speak that way.
You gotta take that swear on the road with you. Like, that's important for a child.
He has since learned that there's like language he doesn't repeat it. Like, I can now say it in front of him and he doesn't repeat it, but he, it's gonna get me in trouble. He does say, he says douche troll, which is unfortunately something that it is the nicer insult that I try to do if I'm in the car and I'm really mad at the driver in front of me.
Okay. Douche troll.
Yeah.
Hashtag douche troll.
Hashtag toilet wine. We'll get them. It'll be great.
That's it.
See, this is what happens when you leave, Tom.
I will say that I did get a notification on Twitter, or I'm sorry, on X, that you're doing a good job.
Aw, yay.
Dragonmount.com sends out an X, I don't know, it's thing. They put a message on X that said, "We miss you," in response to Tom, and said, "Crystal is doing great, though."
Aw, yay.
Good job, Crystal.
Thanks.
Here's to Crystal. Doing great.
Yay.
I'm much more comfortable on the writing side of things, but Tom talked me into it. Now I have too much fun to stop.
You got to be careful with Tom. He is a charismatic some beach.
This is true. And he's like, "Hey, you're helping me do this. You want to learn to run the techie thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that for you." And in my mind, I'm like, "You're not techie. What are you doing?" Oh, this crushed me. Ugh.
This is I'm happy to give credit where credit is due and talk about my love for the show. But this is one of my major criticisms of the show. That is not Moraine from the books. That is not Moraine from the books. Moraine from the books would never abandon
Moraine from
land.
the book threatens and I mean, I disagree.
Threatens, but it's always an empty threat.
It's not an empty threat. When she started threatening, there's a point in the books where it's in the first 3 books, where, when she's talking about, like, passing the bond and shit like that, like, she's doing it purposefully to hurt him.
Right. And he's angry about it. And it's like,
Moraine's a mean bitch. Like, she's I think mean in the books. I think she's, And here, I think there's, she's got a lot going on. I think Moraine is I feel like Moraine is the.
Touche.
She's very single-minded, and that's, her focus is solely the Dragon Reborn and to hell with everybody else and everything else. Like, I think she was as laser focused in the book. I don't think she was as outwardly mean. She was a little bit more, she had her.
Here we go. This is where it all goes sideways.
Oh, guys, this is it. This is the episode. Oh no.
Oh my God, this is that. Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
This is where I slept on Loyal in the fantasy league. I should have had Loyal for this episode because this is where he scored all the points.
This armor, these masks are terrifying. Like
they nailed it.
Yeah. The Shanshan they're so cool and otherworldly and scary. Oh man. Yes.
Gosh, I forget who wrote about it. Somebody was writing about this episode, talked about them being like alien. They seemed like they're from a whole nother planet.
Well, and I think those masks are too, like their uniforms and everything are purposefully to kind of like put fear in people. They look scary. Like they are so cool. They're the coolest. They're horrible. But they look
and as far as things that are loyal to the source material, Shanshan nailed 100%. They are absolutely perfect. Oh yeah, Shanshan, you didn't know there was going to be some Shinarans there. No, you didn't.
Yeah, you thought this was just going to be. At the same time, how many more people probably end up dying in this town because of the Shinarans are there fighting back? Yep.
Look.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
Look how cool that was. That guy's body flipped through the air. That was awesome.
Here we go, Loyal. Get him, boy.
Loyal, you're a badass. Well, I like that this is where we get to see, like, how awesome,
we get a...
really... Because Loyal, up until this point, has been so chill. And now he's wrecking everybody.
Perrin, don't punch someone with a helmet. Just don't do it. Don't.
It seems like a stupid thing to do.
Go Hot Sema. Go Hot Sema. Yeah, boy.
God. This is a great little sequence of things. I like it. I mean, I've only watched this is the second time I've seen it. I don't think I fully appreciated it the first time.
I think what I love about this is it gives us a sense that we're repelling the invaders. We're doing good.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We're winning. We're totally going to win.
We're doing great. Yeah, look at us. We're Shinarans. We're badasses. We're going to win. And we're the good guys. Strategy. We're the good guys.
Yeah, totally. But I also question the strategy of the Shanshan here. Like, why not start with these ladies? Like,
yep.
Also, I still hate the golden binkies. I'm saying it publicly.
They're webbers.
Not a fan.
I really hate the golden binkies. Really hate them.
Maybe I've been to too many raves. Maybe that's the problem.
But one thing I do like is that at least it's consistent because, like, you have the Damani who are property. Yeah. But I feel like all of the Decovale have, like, something that covers their mouth, right?
That's a good point.
But the binky is, like, does she have to hold it in her mouth? Can she spit it out?
Well, and they made the point of showing Egwene pulling it out of her mouth. She could just
so like, what's the like? Yeah. It seems like it's just silly. It's like, and also like she has to hold it in her mouth. Have you ever tried to hold something in your mouth? Like it's like that is your jaw is gonna get tired. You're wearing your Damani out by making them hold that thing in their freaking mouth, and they're gonna drool on themselves.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be gross.
Reese Aludra in the chat has put that there is a historical reference for them. And I get the historical reference. I hear you.
I don't fucking like
But-
them.
But in the historical reference, they were unable to just be removed.
Yeah.
And in the show, you can just be like, meh.
Which is what children do. Yeah.
I just
Right?
I don't like them. I just
Uh,
well, and I think that they take there is something sinister in the books about the demone chit-chatting with the Sul'dam.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
and because you can see how they're, I mean, I think, and with the there's like almost this like illusion of consent in the book that makes it more like vile and creepy and upsetting, because you realize that people have been broken to this, where like I think that this uniform almost makes it so that it's like it's just different. But in the books there's something so upsetting about it's just more, the books are more upsetting, which is probably I'm glad I have to see that.
I would agree.
Well, yeah, it keeps them more separate as opposed to them. They kind of become a unit, almost like an animal in the books. It's like they're little.
Yeah, well, they talk about that. It's like they're like treated the way I treat my dogs, where like people are like, oh, and they're like, this is my favorite, and it's like, dude,
How pretty.
Still a dog.
Yeah, it's harsh. Also, disregarding the fact that I feel like Alvaro Muerte was completely wasted in season 2. I love Alvaro Muerte. Love him.
He's a delight.
Yep.
He's wonderful.
So good. Shoo!
Oh, okay.
We made it.
See? I haven't watched it
enough. Now, even when we're done with the call, now I'm just going to have to binge watch for a while.
I know.
Still on the West Coast time.
Wait, can we just do episode 3 right now?
We'll just start right now. Well, no, because that episode 3 is the episode I don't want to see. The part I don't want to see. I remember when we were doing our original rewatch, we'd have all of these images that we'd talk about after the episode, and yeah, we're full season 1 and 2. Yeah, I don't want to see Uno die again, you guys. I watched it. It was awful. It was horrible. Tom put up the picture. Oh, it's
Look, I have a love-hate relationship with that scene. On one hand, I absolutely hate it because I love Uno. I wanted to see Uno trying to not swear in front of Nynaeve. I wanted to see that in the show. Also, Guy Roberts is a Wheel of Time fan. He's a Wheel of Time reader from back in the day. He read the Wheel of Time and grew up reading the Wheel of Time and is now an actor on the show. And that's an avatar of dreams can come true for me.
Yeah.
And I love that so much. And for him to die, though, I also love the fact that Rafe straight up said, nobody is safe. Now, we know there are a couple of people who are safe. Well, we know there are a couple of people who can't die. Doesn't mean they're safe. But I feel like that's a really great way of creating a sense of unease in a story. And I think he nailed it. I think they nailed it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think the way Uno's death is done, it's so horrific and done so casually that they like everyone is like, it's so scary. It really sets the Shanshan up for being like the big bads that they are. They're so scary.
Oh man, no, it's awful.
Agreed.
They're so scary, and what makes them the most scary is that they think that they're right.
I think that's true of anybody who has such a strong belief, like such a strong belief system that they won't hear anything else. It makes them really terrifying because they just like live with blinders on. Oh.
I mean,
Well.
okay, Noman Garden.
You know,
sir.
He's kind of. He's sassy tonight. Maybe it's because Tom's
Yeah,
gone.
he is.
Feisty.
DK Moon is also placing bets.
Uh-oh.
Sir,
Elaine King.
you're cursing our favorite strawberry blonde noble.
True. Well, this was really fun, you guys. I have enjoyed just getting to go back and like watch it again without the pressure. Like when it first comes out and we're doing all the stuff for it on Dragonmount and things are going on, it feels really intense and like you're really focused and you got to watch this and we're going to write about it and then we're going to talk about it, and it's just really frantic, and to just get and sit and watch it and just bullshit about it is really fun. I like that part of it. Not that the other isn't great too, but it's fun.
I also had fun. Thanks for having us on. And also, Crystal, this is the first time that you and I have got to be on a stream together.
Really? I thought, I guess that's true. Well, that's fun. This was a really good time.
I think you've worked in the background on some.
I like it back there. I like to hide back there. But my favorite thing was What a Holiday. That was so much stinking fun. I want to do that every year. Like, that was such a good time. Such a good time.
I love your Santa hat too, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I was like, I'm gonna have to go on camera by myself because I usually set up by my bookshelves where I've got all my Wheel of Time stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna put on my Santa hat. I'm gonna sit by my Christmas tree so I don't feel lonely and I don't feel sad that I'm by myself.
You nailed it.
Well,
you killed
thank you very much.
Great.
It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too. Are you gonna go to JordanCon? Are you guys both gonna be there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll
awesome.
be at JordanCon and I'll be at WatCon because.
And WatCon.
Yeah. So you should come.
Are you confirming you'll be at WatCon the 2024 too as well then? Because I know you were thinking about it. You.
Me?
Yeah.
When was I thinking about it?
Whoa. I was like,
I don't know when there was never a second I was on the fence. After the first day of WatCon 2023, I was like, oh, I'm doing this every year. What are you talking about?
A stronger endorsement you could not wish for.
I'm doing this until I die or they stop doing it.
Yes!
Yeah.
And also, for those of you who are on the fence about attending JordanCon, Crystal...
Sorry.
London is attending her first JordanCon in 2024. So
okay, we could be newbies together. I am just so socially awkward. Like, I can talk on here and I can talk to my children, but I'm such a weirdo, you guys. I feel so.
Okay,
let's be weird,
Crystal. Okay, in London, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but tell me, and I will tell you this is my experience as well. But London, as your first time attending WatCon, like, did you not just walk into a room full of weirdos who shared the same kind of weird that you are?
I will say, and this is no offense to Wheel of Time fans at all, really. Maybe. Who knows? Who maybe somebody will take offense to it. But I'm going to say that
someone will always take offense.
90% of the people are socially weirdos. Just like,
yes.
You'll fit.
You'll fit right in. Exactly. You'll fit right in. And Crystal, if/when you make it to JordanCon and or WatCon,
when
I will be when London.
When?
Thank you for manifesting. When you make it, I will be there, and I am fully happy to be like, everybody, look, this is Crystal. Just kidding. Or
please don't do that. I will crawl under my Santa hat. I will go away.
No, but it's
to me,
sincerely.
And it's not the worst. You just have to drink. But you're a drinker, so just
That's fine. Yep.
There's a lot of fun to be had there. It really is. It's very intimidating for the first couple of steps, and I acknowledge that because I myself felt that the first time I went to JordanCon. But I promise you, it will be worth it. For anyone who is on the fence about attending, it will be worth it. I promise you. Please.
All right. I think I was talking to Tom about it, and I think I'm gonna commit. It's literally just checking. Yeah, and that'll be me. It's just not knowing like what it really looks like. Like you can read the website and you can do all the things, but it's just it's different to just like walk in the room. And especially I've never wanted to go by myself because I didn't feel like I really knew anybody very well. But now I'm just so much closer to all my Dragonmount team because I've been on Dragonmount for 20 years, 19 years. I mean, almost since the start of the website. But I was always just like I was one of the RP girls. Like I would write on my little RP like way back, and so I just
We're gonna have a conversation off stream because
Okay.
I submitted some ideas for some RP and I want to see if you remember them.
Ooh, okay.
Because
All
that
right,
was
well,
back in the day.
back in the day, way back in the day. Yeah, well, you guys, this was super fun. We are off next week. It's Christmas for those that celebrate, but we will be back on New Year's Day with episode 3. And I think, not 100% sure, but I think Ebony, the Empress, may she live forever, is going to be back with us on the 1st, which is super exciting. We've missed her so much. So much. But this was really fun. Sorry. This was really fun, you guys. I hope you come back. I hope you guys do it again. And I'm just going to publicly put out here that I'm going to go get off this stream and buy my ticket to JordanCon. So then I'm at least like committed. I'm going to go. And it's the plane ticket and, the panic attack. And we'll go from
Atlanta's
there.
a hub, though, so it's not a very expensive plane ticket.
No, and I love,
True.
so yeah, I really like Atlanta. Hold on, oh, you guys. Why, Tom? Don't ever leave me again. Stop it. Well, it got disconnected from Facebook while we were doing this, and now all of my banners are gone. Like all of my little happy buttons that make me do all the things. All right, guys. Well, this was great. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yay! Bye.